Welcome to the Maria Liberati Show, where food meets art, travel, and life. So what does food mean to you? This week, my special guest is Gina Perin. She's a board-certified health and wellness coach, and she is going to be helping us with some tips on cleaning up our eating for the spring and summer season, and some other interesting tips on healthy and clean eating. So stay with me. And I also want to remind you that on Sunday, March 26th from 1 to 4 p.m., I will be doing a 4-course wine pairing dinner. It's an Italian-themed 4-course wine pairing dinner at the Ridgewood Winery in Bechtelsville, Pennsylvania. And you can register for the event. Registration is limited, but you can register for the event at eventbrite.com. And for my listeners to this podcast only, you can put in the code food and wine with the number 5. And if you do, you will get a discount. So put in that code food and wine 5 and you'll be surprised with a little bit of a discount for the event. Again, that's Sunday, March 26th from 1 to 4 p.m. Ridgewood Winery has some great award-winning wines, and I've been doing this event with them a few times. I've done these wine pairing events, and they are just really, really popular. So register as soon as possible. That's Sunday, March 26th from 1 to 4 p.m. Hope to see you there. So today I have a special guest. It's Gina Perin, and she's a board-certified health and wellness coach. And you know, spring is coming, and we're all going to want to start eating healthier for the spring and the summer. So I thought she'd be great to help us to do that. And she's going to tell us about her journey to healthy eating and give us tips on clean eating and just a whole lot of interesting things. And she has something free for everybody too. She's going to tell us about too at the end of the interview too. Gina, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, Maria.
Good morning. So, I know you were going to tell us about, I guess, your journey with food and healthy eating and all that. So all that good stuff.
Okay. Yes. Well, my journey, like most journeys in life, has been an up and down with food. And, from pretty clean eating and, not a real close relationship with food, but knew what was healthy and what wasn't, in my 20s to then experiencing severe depression in my mid 30s into my early 40s from the death of my brother. And so I went from, a very healthy, fit person physically to overweight. I was only eating to really just survive. It was more of survival, not feeding my soul and feeding my body what it needed. And it showed. Yeah. So what you eat in private is what you showcase in public.
Yes.
And it was quite evident. I was showcasing that I hadn't really cared about my body. I had, pretty much had given up. Yeah. And then, that came out of that. And now my relationship with food is completely different.
Yeah.
I don't only see food as a survival mechanism, but I view it as fuel. Very, very similar to the fuel that I put in my car. I happen to drive a car that requires the premium gas, right? The 91 octane as opposed to the 87 octane.
Right.
And so I really came into this, this idea of just, I have this really nice car, right? And if I put that 87 octane in it, I'm going to gunk up the engine. It doesn't run properly. It doesn't run at its full capacity. I'm not showing it any love, and it certainly isn't going to show me the love back. So I view everything that I put into my body now the same way as my car.
Yeah. You know what I think is funny, not to interrupt you, but at least you kind of correlate so you know that putting good fuel in your car brings, good results, and you need to do that to your own body. But there are so many people out there that are concerned about putting good fuel in their car, and they don't even think about giving their body good fuel. They're more concerned with their auto than themselves. So I didn't mean to interrupt you. Yes.
No, you make an absolute valid point. And it's really funny because I work with a lot of clients, but my male clients in particular that are very into cars, there are women that are into cars too, but I find that most of the time the guys are really, when I lay it out that way, and it's just changing the perspective of the fuel that you're putting into your body. When you relate it to something that all of us can relate to, almost all of us have a car, you are going to get the same performance out of your body and your mind that you feed it.
Yes, exactly.
So that diet, quote unquote, and I'll explain why I'm saying quote unquote, the diet is if you look at it in terms of your fuel source, you start to look at it from a different lens.
Yes.
And the reason I say, diet, quote unquote, I am not a fan of the 4-letter word. I don't use it in the sense of, well, this week I'm on a diet. I need to lose, I need to lose 5 pounds. I need to lose 20 pounds, whatever it is. So I'm on a diet.
Right.
We immediately go into restrictive mode in our mind when we use that term diet in that way. I'm having to give up all my good things that I love.
Yes.
Because I'm on this diet and I'm being restricted.
Right.
So it doesn't, longevity is against you at that point, right? When you start to go into that mode. So when I use the word diet, I'm referring to an everyday lifestyle of what you put into your mouth, both in food and in drink. So in both of those categories. And taking out any of that restricting. I love my frozen yogurt with lots of chocolate sprinkles on top. That is that's my weakness, right? I'm not going to say I can't have that because I'm on a diet.
Right.
I follow, in general, I follow the 80-20 rule in almost everything in my life. So 80% of the time I'm eating clean and I'm eating good fuel for myself. And that 20% I'm going to enjoy. So I'm not feeling like, again, that I'm losing out on something. Sometimes it's 90-10, right? That where I'm like really just clean fuel, right? And just 10%. Right. And sometimes on a vacation, when I'm in Italy, as we talked about, when I've been in Italy, it's maybe 70-30, 60-40, and I'm going to enjoy that time. Right. And then I'm going to come back to what I'm comfortable with.
What you're comfortable with. So can you give us, as I was saying, spring is almost here. And that's when everybody's like, oh my gosh, they realized they were through the holidays and they ate a lot of stuff, gained a lot of weight because sitting around for the winter, and it's like, oh my gosh, got to get ready for spring and summer. So any tips that you can give people to start getting on the track, because I know it's really not good to cold turkey. I always find that I generally I do the little by little, because you get used to a little bit and then a little bit, and then all of a sudden you're at a good place. But what, any tips for people so that they can start getting ready? And like you said, it should be, though, I want to stress, like you stressed, you really shouldn't be doing this every couple of months. Okay, now I have to start eating clean. It should be your lifestyle. Doing just what you said, the 80-20 rule. But any tips for people to start getting on the right track, I guess?
Absolutely. Yes. Consistency is key. I'm going to give you 2 really great tips. And these are just to begin to have just better habits that are lifelong, not a temporary, as you said, Maria. So number 1, when you head to grocery store. That's what they say here on the West Coast.
Oh, yeah.
I say the food store, being from the Northeast. Either way, when you head to the store, I want you to keep in mind, do almost all of your shopping on the perimeter of the store. Stores are designed, the food stores are laid out in a very specific way for a reason, right? You have the aisles down the center, which is going to be mostly your packaged, boxed, canned foods.
Right.
I've said before, they're not all bad, but the majority of your shopping should be around that perimeter. What's on the perimeter? All your fresh foods, your fresh meats and cheeses and fruits and vegetables. If it doesn't have a label, it's good. If it has a label with less than 5 ingredients, grab that. That's going to start to just shift your mindset when you walk into the store. That, again, going back to that 80-20 rule, you could use that the same in the store. Shoot for 80% of your shopping on that perimeter.
That's great. That's a great, yes, go ahead.
And then the second tip is evaluate what you are drinking. So that is the number one. It's usually the number one thing that I can find in clients where we can shave off 100 to 200 calories a day without them really changing much in their life. Just by their drinking habits. So let me give you an example. I drink the double mocha. I don't even know how to pronounce some of these when they're going out and getting coffee. I only drink one a day. It's an extra large, having no idea it's a 300, 400, 500 calorie drink. And you're like, okay, that could be a meal or a half a meal. So a small shift, right, to maybe, cut down on the size, or we look at different ways that they can take in their coffee. We're not giving up coffee. I'm a coffee lover.
Me too.
Right.
Yes.
Or the canned soda of 125 calories a day. You're drinking one of those a day. You cut out just that, and again, not giving up. Let's say you have 2 a day. It's a gradual just shift. It's just a shift in mindset. But I always say to start with like what you're consuming in your drinks, because no one thinks about that when they think about changing to healthier eating habits. It's always eating to them is just food. And it is not. The food and the drinks are married. You can't have one without the other. We're all drinking throughout the day, hopefully a lot of water, but there are easy shifts you can make in your drinking habits that will shave sometimes a drastic amount of calories without even changing a lot.
Exactly. Wow. That's great. I think they're great. They're great tips, to get started, really easy things to do too. So it's a no-brainer, really easy to get yourself on track and start developing these habits, healthy habits, to keep it a lifelong thing. So it's not like, oh my gosh, summer's coming and I, have to lose all this weight and get back into what I'm doing, and then slowly start getting into the bad path again. So just developing these habits is definitely great. So Gina, we're almost out of time, but I know you were telling me about a Facebook group, right, that people can join. And why don't you tell us about that?
Okay, great. I'm so excited because I started a free private Facebook group. It's so much fun. It's just like-minded people that are looking to get healthy. You get so much free information, from a shopping list to recipes. It's all in there. And then once a month, the first Saturday of every month, I do a free, I'm on there live. And for 5 days, it's a healthy habits challenge. And it's fun. And like I said, it's free, and you get so much information to start making those little shifts in your life. And I'd love to see them there.
Great. So how can people find that Facebook group? Do they just look up your name, or?
Yes. So friend me on Facebook first, and then you'll see my group that you can join. It is just my first and last name, Gina Perin. I'm sure we'll be putting
Yeah,
up all this.
I'll put that on the Maria Liberati Show website too. When this episode broadcast, we'll put that on there too for anybody. But yeah, that sounds like that's fun, and it's a great way to get some, like you said, recipes and tips and advice for healthy eating.
And they
great.
can also find me on my website, just
yes,
ginaperin.com, and the link to the private Facebook group is right on my website.
Is on there. So that was ginaperin.com, Perin. And again, we'll try and put that on my website also. Gina, thanks so much for being here, and hopefully maybe we'll have you back again to share some other healthy eating tips throughout the year.
I would be honored to be back.
Definitely. Thank you so much, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you so much, Maria.
Okay, bye-bye. Thanks to listening to the Maria Liberati Show, and thanks for joining us. And thanks to my producer, Britton Roselle. And my special guest this week was board-certified health and wellness coach, Gina Perin. And just a reminder that I will be doing a 4-course Italian-themed spring wine pairing dinner at the Ridgewood Winery in Bechtelsville, Pennsylvania. But the registration is limited, and for my podcast listeners only, you can register at eventbrite.com and put in the code foodandwine5, and you'll be surprised with a little bit of a discount. So hope to see you all there. You know, Ridgewood Winery has some delicious award-winning wines, so I know you'll enjoy the event. And as always, you can also find me at marialiberati.com. You can find my YouTube channel, which is the Maria Liberati Show, and you can see videos of the audio podcast that you're listening to. My Vimeo channel is the Maria Liberati channel. And on Facebook, you can find me at Chef Maria Liberati. On Pinterest, you can find me at Maria Liberati. On Twitter, you can find me at Maria Liberati. And let's see, you can also find me on Roku on my channel, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking by Maria Liberati. And you can also find my books at artoflivingprimamedia.com. That's the publisher's website. And on my website, marialiberati.com, or anywhere books are sold online. And until next week, peace, love, and pasta.